podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
A hero's welcome for the most successful British Winter Olympics team ever. I'm Michael.
And I'm John, and this is Milano Daily from Anything But Footy. Back in the UK, we talk about the Olympics and the Paralympics all the time, not once every 4 years like everybody else does.
I was going to say it's good to be home, but yeah. That was the noise and the incredible scenes at Gatwick Airport as Matt Weston, Charlotte Banks, Hugh Nightingale, Tabby Stoke for the men's curling team, and Zoe Atkin, Team GB's medal winners, led the procession through the South Terminal Arrivals Hall.
The best fun I've ever had at an airport, let me tell you that. Those medal winners got the headlines, of course, but there's plenty more British performances to celebrate from a magical Milano Cortina.
My name's Freya Tarbit and I'm a GB skeleton athlete.
Hi, I'm Lilah Fear.
And I'm Lewis Gibson, and you're listening to Anything But Footy,
with the latest on the Winter Olympics.
So with those interviews, some of our own Milan memories too, and some news from the Games in this latest episode.
Plus, tomorrow's News Today returns because we are talking Paralympics.
This is Milano Daily from Anything But Footy. You can download, listen, follow, pass it on, share the link, let your friends know where we are. And if you're missing Milan Cortina like we are, well, don't worry. Winter Paralympics are just around the corner.
Hi, I'm Eve Muirhead. I'm Chef de Mission. You're listening to Anything But Footy with the latest on the Winter Olympics.
So, a magical Milano Cortina Winter Olympics is how the IOC president Kirsty Coventry described it at the closing ceremony in Verona. I feel like with Kirsty Coventry, by the way, that she learnt one Italian phrase while she was there, which was grazie mille, and then she just dropped it in constantly. It's like your mum ordering dinner in an Italian restaurant. Anyway, that is where the record-breaking Team GB all came together for the first time to celebrate their achievements before flying home to Gatwick for a history-making homecoming and a big hug from John Cushing. School kids, workers, some startled tourists, all there to see Britain's best ever Winter Olympians return with 3 gold medals, a silver and a bronze. And whilst I was on my way home from Milan, slightly delayed because the bags hadn't turned up, John was catching up with a few of our Olympic stars, speaking to them for the radio and, of course, for the brilliant, as mentioned in Forbes magazine, Anything But Footy podcast.
Yeah, the noise levels in the South Terminal were ear-splitting at times. Absolutely incredible. Go, Matt, go, which was chanted in honour of Matt Weston, but it was in the phrase of USA, USA. And I was like thinking, why are they chanting USA? But it was no, go, Matt, go, Matt, go. He wasn't feeling 100% when he arrived back, but I'm sure it cheered him up when he did. We were told he was not hungover, by the way, but just feeling a little unwell. Plenty of people did have a good night and little sleep, let me tell you. We caught up with Zoe Atkin for Talk Sport just 24 hours after her medal, and she told me the change in timing from a night final to a morning final, of course from a Saturday to a Sunday, was something that she had to get her head around, having planned for the nighttime final for 4 years. Britain's first ever snow gold medalist, Hugh Nightingale, is in snowboard cross, of course, told me that he was looking forward to a trip to Buckingham Palace. I used your question, Michael. What are you most looking forward to away from the snow at the end of the season? Sports Personality of the Year, Downing Street, Buckingham Palace, and he came back saying, oh, Buckingham Palace, that sounds good. I've never been there before. I'm not greatly surprised by that, but hopefully he will get an invite from the King. And as I told Chef de Mission, Eve Muirhead, there was 1,438 days till the French Alps Winter Olympics. She admitted that she would like to have another go at leading the team. She did all right, didn't she? She did very, very well. But interestingly, you said in the last podcast, it's not a full-time job. So she did say to me that she was keen to see, quote, what else is out there. Now, I think up there with Gareth Southgate, surely, for leading role in British sport somewhere. She's in charge. She's a 4-time Olympian. She's a gold medalist. That was already on her CV. And now the best games ever to add to that. That's an incredible record. But as well as the highs, there were some real lows during the 19 days of competition for Team GB during the most successful games ever. As well as the medals, a record number of 4th places. Nearly half of the 53 athletes also finished in the top 10 of their events. It does, though, show the development of winter sport in the UK across freestyle skiing, snowboard, cross-country skiing, skeleton and ice skating.
Yeah, let's talk ice skating. Lilah Fear and Lewis Gibson were one of the big British stories in the build-up and certainly during the first week of the Games. Brilliant Spice Girls rhythm ice stunts routine in the team event was followed a few days later in the ice dance competition itself. An error. We all saw it. We all heard it from Lilah. In the free dance, the Scottish dance ended their medal hopes and left them 7th. And as they arrived back at Gatwick this week before heading off to Montreal, where they have a World Championships to prepare for, John was speaking to them about their whole Olympic experience.
Everything, I would say. Like the highest highs and a bit of the lowest lows as well. But it was also so interesting because it was so... Everything felt like a first as well for us, although it was our second Games, just comparing it to like the COVID Beijing Games. So it was nice to like have all these experiences feel so unique in themselves and get that whole Olympic buzz that we never got the first time around. And yeah, just like kind of bittersweet leaving, but sort of ready to move on at the same time.
Is time a healer, Lilah?
Yes, absolutely. Like, I was actually journaling about it. You might see that on Instagram later. It's crazy because the day of the free dance, I just felt like I didn't know what to do with myself. I felt so sad and guilty and disappointed and just devastated, both of us. And then even just the next morning, I went on a walk with my sister and she brought me around Milan and I was just following her around because I didn't know what to do with myself. And then the next day felt better and better. And now I feel so happy, and really our goal was to enjoy these Olympics, and we like to enjoy everything we do because that's why we do it. And I think we let ourselves feel the extreme low, and through processing it by feeling it, we were able to feel lighter afterwards and to really just enjoy being Olympians at the Olympics from every step along the way.
Because Milan's such a great city.
Mm-hmm. Sure it is, and I'm so thankful that we were there for such a long time that we actually, even after we were done competing, got to go and explore and see it. And sort of like discover it for the first time. It felt like it was very special.
Yeah, it was so beautiful.
What was the best bit you did post-performing?
Oh, honestly, I loved speed skating. We saw that live and we snuck into seats that were really close to the ice. So it was amazing. And just to feel what it's like to be in the audience at the Olympics is so fun because it's just electric. And to see other people pursuing their dreams on such a huge stage. And then also the closing ceremony yesterday, just because we were united with the rest of Team GB. And everyone's done their jobs and everyone's not stressed anymore. So it was different energy than the opening and just felt like this beautiful way to end the Games.
Because you're part of the most successful team that there has been. And that is something to be put on the CV.
Yeah, it is for sure. And even like for us, it was of course not the result that we were looking for, but at the same time it was still the highest result in I think over 30 years. So we can still be proud of that in itself. And yeah, like it's so great to see everyone do so well and just feel like winter sports in Great Britain is just rising, and hopefully the next Games, again, it'll be even stronger.
There's 1,439 days to go to the French Alps.
That feels soon. Wow.
Will we see you there?
Yes.
We'll be there.
Absolutely.
And final question, a great reception to come back here at Gatwick.
Yeah, it was really beautiful actually. Like I didn't really know what to expect, but like the noise was quite kind of overwhelming.
Deafening?
I didn't expect it at all. Yeah, like I was like, oh yeah, we'll walk in, there'll be some people there, but I was like, oh wow, like it was quite emotional, especially just being exhausted. It kind of takes you back a bit.
And you're off to the Worlds next, yeah?
Yeah, so we head back to Montreal tomorrow, and then we train for like 3.5 weeks, and we'll be in Prague.
We can't wait to see you. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Lilah Fear and Lewis Gibson, and Lilah mentioned in that interview the journal that she'd posted on social media yesterday afternoon, actually after we'd finished having that interview, on her innermost thoughts a week on from the ice dance mistake. She actually wrote it, I think, about the 17th of February. And some of the phrases I thought really stood out. The sun will always rise tomorrow. Failure brings you freedom. And she said to me, as you heard there, that time heals. And it was good to have her back to her sparkling self when I caught up with her yesterday. And as Lewis pointed out, the best result in 30 years for British ice skating. And they've certainly got British ice skating back where it belongs.
Now, we know the Olympics is so much more than just medals. We heard that there from Lilah and Lewis. It's also about inspiration, showing the world what's possible. Everyone wants to try their hand at skeleton now. Everyone wants to be a skeleton pilot now after Matt Weston's 2 gold medals. One in the mixed team event with Tabby Stoker. Interest in trying out the sport has spiked on the British Bobsleigh and Skeleton Association website. Great Britain sent 5 skeleton athletes to the Games. European medalist Freya Tarbit was one of them. In the individual event, she finished 7th before her and Marcus Wyatt teamed up in the mixed event and finished 4th, just 0.11 seconds off the bronze. So how was she feeling on her return to Gatwick and her role in this record-breaking team performance?
It was incredible, really, really incredible. I feel like I put down some of my best performances of the training, so I'm really proud of myself.
The individual run and then the mixed team as well. It was a busy period.
Yeah, really busy. 3 days of racing in one go, it is pretty tiring, but like I said, I'm really proud of how I stepped up and performed under pressure.
And tell us about the Cortina track, because there was a bit of uncertainty beforehand, but it seemed, and hey, we won some medals, but it seemed like it delivered.
Yeah, definitely. It's a tricky track. When we were here for the ITP in November, I found the track really, really hard to kind of get to grips with. But it's from corner one, it's very technical, and if you're offline, then it just kills your speed. So it's challenging, but I think in the best way for the Games, because it really made us all step up and bring our best.
The mixed team relay, there was an opportunity for a medal there, wasn't there?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I didn't go into the race expecting a medal. I just wanted to, do my best on the day. And, I'm so proud. That's probably one of the best performances I've ever done. I got a reaction start PB, a downtime, PB. I was the fastest woman. So I can be really, really proud that I laid it down when I needed to.
And the fact is that you're a European champion as well this season.
Yeah, definitely. And that was in the mixed team as well, the European medal. So a lot to be proud of this season. And even though maybe this season that I didn't get quite as many medals as last season, the consistency was a lot more there. And I think for me that really gives me confidence, because it shows that season by season I'm making progress, and I ticked it off with probably my best performances at the end of the season. So it just gives me so much confidence and excitement going ahead.
Arriving back at Gatwick today, it was a great reception.
Yeah, it was incredible. It makes me so proud to be part of Team GB, and my family were here as well as part of the nearest and dearest, and feel really proud to get to show them as well what I've been part of. So it was incredible.
And what about the Games as well, just the whole experience of it?
I can't put into words how amazing it was. It was so good. This was my first game, so this is my only kind of experience of it, and it's just been incredible. All of the volunteers, all of the staff, Team GB, I can't say can't articulate very well how incredible it was.
And when you look back, and how proud you will be of your whole performances?
Really proud. I mean, like I said, at the time it was difficult because I really wanted a medal and didn't get one, but I think the performances and how I slid, pushed, how I approached it with my mindset, how I approached it with my mindset afterwards, I think there's so much for me to take away and take confidence from, and like you say, be proud of, and I'll always be able to carry that. So it's a really nice feeling.
A couple more questions. Everyone loves skeleton now.
Yeah, I know. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And I hope it carries on. I hope people are invested for a long time.
And 1,439 days till the French Alps Winter Olympics. Will we see you there?
Yeah, I think so. I think you'll see me there.
Well, many congratulations. Thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Freya Tarbit, 7th in the individual, 4th in the mixed, a European medalist before the Games. I think I might have said to her a champion, but bless her, she didn't pick me up on that. She said medalist in the mixed one. But one of three British women in the top 10 of skeleton. That is progress. And as we heard, they're all youngsters. The French Alps, they will be there.
In other news from the Games, Lindsey Vonn's revealed she was saved by doctors from having her left leg amputated after that crash in the women's downhill on the first weekend. The 41-year-old revealed on her latest update on social media, if it hadn't been for the quick work of the US doctor, she might have lost her leg. She said it's been quite the journey, by far the most extreme, painful and challenging injury I've ever faced in my life, times 100. She also said, it's going to be a long road. I'm in a wheelchair, very much immobile. I can't tell you how painful it's been. We wish Lindsey Vonn, the Olympic champion and all-round skiing and sports legend, very well in her recovery.
Yes, Michael, you're now back from Milan, of course. Not quite the same hero's welcome at Luton, I understand from what I saw at Gatwick. But what are your Milan memories?
Yeah.
What are you taking from these games?
Nothing brings you back down to earth than standing in an airport departure lounge, staring up at a screen, looking for the word Luton. Yeah, no, back to grey and rainy Luton with terrific memories of the games. It was always going to be quite a tough couple of weeks for me, going out there, to be honest with you. Had some pretty sad personal news before I went, and it was always going to be quite a challenging time. And thank you for your support in getting me there. Thank you to my family and friends as well, who were also brilliantly supportive, and my colleagues out there, my colleagues at UK Sport, Team GB, Talk Sport, colleagues at Sky Sports News as well, all brilliantly supportive to get me there, get me through it, and get me home again, all in one piece, keeping me together. And I do find the Olympic Games is good for the soul. It's a good tonic. And you know, when maybe you are having some tough times, just being in that environment, and there's not many environments that bring, in this case, what was it, nearly 100 nations from across the world together, all with kind of one common goal. I mean, it was a games that was giving on many different levels. We taught penises, we taught helmets, and those are unrelated stories, by the way. You know, the other sort of big stories, Lindsey Vonn in that first weekend, the pressure that we put on Lilah and Lewis. I thought Milan, the first weekend, was great, fantastic. Really did feel like an Olympic city, like Paris felt like an Olympic city, because there was a lot of focus on that first few days with the San Siro and then the figure skating. I know you loved the ice hockey. I loved the figure skating. I was very privileged to got out to Cortina, very different sort of feel, very Olympic feel, but obviously not a big city. And just being there for that weekend to see Matt and Tabby win their gold medals, it was an utter joy again. And I mean, there was lots of stories to get our teeth into, wasn't there?
Yeah, I mean that middle Monday. So not the first Monday, which is always different after the first weekend, but then the middle Monday. I mean, I think you literally sat down at your computer and we recorded a podcast at 6 a.m, and you carried on broadcasting for another 8 hours, I think, reflecting on what had been, and that had been after traveling, of course, back from Cortina, which we managed to get you there, and I'm so pleased we did. You got some snow, some amazing shots, and then those interviews with Matt Weston as well were absolutely brilliant. But you just managed to catch your train. I mean, that's the thing. You were waiting for a bus that never turned up. Not that it's about you, and you're not moaning about it, because all you did was go and get another bus. It's not hard.
Yeah, I mean, there has been, as there always is, the bingo card of Olympic gripes. Security. I didn't think security was an issue there. Well, certainly wasn't as visible as it was in Paris. It all seemed very relaxed. Security is always a thing. Tickets are always a thing. And there were some empty seats, certainly for the opening ceremony. And transport's always one. And I think I posted something on social media going, you know, one thing I think should be banned from the Olympics is journalists moaning about transport. And I think on a Sunday, it was a particular challenge for some reason. And I was trying to get back from Cortina. Bus didn't turn up. We just found another one.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and then we got back and got on the train and got back. I'm not going to complain about a free bus service.
No, absolutely. Yeah, you're absolutely right. My favourite sport of these games was ice skating and ice hockey. So sorry to all the snow fans out there. To be in those venues and with my son, who's now obsessed with ice hockey, and of course we haven't really spoken since the men's USA triumph over Canada on Sunday afternoon as well, which was quite a match to behold. A brilliant win for the USA. Not quite sure their reaction afterwards has gone down incredibly well, but you know, we live and learn from these things. But ice hockey, I'm determined to get some understanding of where we are as a nation from a British point of view on this sport, because I think it's incredible. So that's worth watching. I agree. I think Milan did an incredible job being out there. It felt there's nothing like an Olympic city when it's buzzing and the sun's shining. One day was wet and horrible, but it was nice for a few days. The weirdest thing though was when I was in the media center, and the media center is normally the most buzziest place in the world in terms of Olympics. And this is my first Winter Olympics, so maybe it's the same because everyone spreads out. But it was so quiet. Literally, there were so many volunteers and not many journalists. And my favorite sign was there were signs all the way through the media center saying "silence, please." And I was like, why? I never understood why that sign was there.
I do think actually the idea of the big media center is maybe a bit more of an outdated concept these days. We don't need it because we can all work from home. That's what we've been doing. We can sit in our hotels, our apartments, and work. They put the big sort of IOC press conferences on, but again, you can just dial in remotely. You don't need to go and physically plug a microphone into these things anymore. Think back to Birmingham and the Commonwealth Games. There wasn't the big giant media centre. There was a small media working room, and obviously you have media working rooms at all the different venues. If I was planning a future games, I'm not sure I would bother with the big giant media centre anymore. I just don't think you need it. I mean, it was like walking to a warehouse, and
especially when it's so spread out.
Yeah,
because there's no central in Paris. It was. I mean, we didn't go during the games as much, obviously, because we're in the venues. But it felt busier even when we went in Paris. But Milan was. I could have counted the number of people on one hand.
And you can get feeds of every sport, every session on your phone, on your laptop now as well. So again, if you rewind to say Rio, you would sometimes, if you weren't going to the event, you would go to the media center because you knew that you could sit and watch the event on the screens there. You don't have to do that anymore. You can get HBO, brilliant coverage on Eurosport, HBO.
I just thought it's not a library. I don't know why Silence Please was on the list, because frankly there was nothing going on. You kind of want people to be noisy just to show that it was worth having. It was a great location, I thought, the Milan Press Centre, but I agree with you. Probably apart from the first few days where all the journalists and camera crews were all in the same place, you probably don't need that space for throughout the games. But interesting to see how that develops. But yeah, it's been quite the experience of covering the Winter Olympics, and everything I thought it would be. Real lows to the point where I really felt really sad for Lilah and Lindsey Vonn, as you say, but some real highs as well, and what an achievement. And I'm so glad that we got the medal target that we set out.
This is Milano Daily from Anything But Footy. Tomorrow's news today is back for Paralympics GB, and our other news from the games coming up.
Let's be completely honest. Are you happy with your job? The fact is, a huge number of people can't say yes to that. Too many of us are stuck in a job we've outgrown or one we never really wanted in the first place. But we stick it out and we give reasons like, what if the next move is worse? And I've put years into this place. And maybe the most common one, isn't everyone miserable at work? But there's a difference between reasons for staying and excuses for not leaving. It's time to get unstuck. It's time for Strawberry.me. They match you with a certified career coach who helps you get from where you are to where you want to be, either at your existing job or by helping you find a new one. Your coach helps clarify your goals, creates a plan, and keeps you accountable along the way. Go to strawberry.me/career and get 50% off your first coaching session. That's strawberry.me/career.
Hi, I'm Greg Cackett, GB brakeman for Team GB Bobsleigh. You're listening to Anything But Footy with the latest on the Winter Olympics.
This is Milano Daily from Anything But Footy. TNT, tomorrow's news today. After its rest, it's returned.
Yes.
After Britain's most successful ever Winter Olympics, focus now switches to the Winter Paralympics, which starts next week. Final athletes set to compete for Paralympics GB at next month's Milano Cortina Winter Paralympics have now been confirmed. So it will be a British team of 25 in action in Italy in skiing, snowboarding, curling, biathlon and cross country, including Paralympic GB's first ever team member who lives with a degenerative disease, MND. He also does some fundraising for the Doddy Foundation too.
My name is Davy Jiv. It's an incredible personal achievement, but the achievement I'm sharing with every poor soul who lives with neurological diseases with MMD. I know the poor souls yet to be diagnosed. I just hope this platform I have can help raise awareness. We've all got time pressures on our lives, but I suppose I feel that more acutely knowing what I live with and what I'm challenged by day to day, and the fact the snowboarding. I've had a lot of fun. It's been stressful at times, but I've had a lot of fun. But it's taken me away from my wee boy, my family. I started with that because I loved something and I wanted to do it more and more, and that burning desire of fun and creativity and speed has propelled me all around the world, and has now just earned me a place at the Paralympic Games.
So amazing to see how Davy gets on in the games. The most successful British Winter Paralympics athlete is also competing in her third Paralympics. Para-alpine skier Menna Fitzpatrick is Great Britain's most decorated Winter Paralympian ever, with 6 medals. And she's been out injured all of last year. Menna and guide Katie, who missed the games through COVID 4 years ago, says they're really looking forward to this one.
Super excited that it's actually closer to home, so it means more family and friends can come out, and it's on a better time zone for people to watch. After being injured last season, just actually getting back racing again is really exciting.
Fingers crossed no more infectious diseases hit the planet this year. But yeah, super excited to actually have my foot in the door, and we'll hopefully together both make it to Cortina safely this year. So
we'll try and do our best, and yeah, hopefully we come back with some bling to show off, but yeah, we kind of don't want to focus too much on the end result. I think having siblings and stuff like that, they definitely keep you humble, for sure. And yeah, I still can't believe that I am and that I have won those medals.
Now, Nina Sparks will make history as Paralympics GB's first ever female snowboarder. 3 teenagers will also line up in Italy at their first Para Games. 16-year-old Dom Allen, who joined the GB Para Alpine Development Squad in 2023, is the youngest. The 12 para athletes announced will now join the other team members in biathlon, cross country and curling, who were confirmed in December last year. And we'll have more on the Paralympics before it starts in Verona a week on Friday. That is the 6th of March.
Yep. In other news from the Games, away from the Winter Games, the interest in LA 2028 tickets haven't been affected by the Epstein headlines surrounding the chair of the LA organising committee. We told you about a couple of weekends back. 5 million people have signed up for registration for the ticket draw. You've still got time as well to get in on that. It doesn't close until March 18th. They reckon 100,000 people have signed up a day.
Now, no Glasgow Commonwealth Games for Keely Hodgkinson, according to a brand new article in the Times today, written by the esteemed athletics journalist Rick Broadbent. It's an interview with her coach Jenny Meadows. She says the Olympic champion is focusing on the outdoor world record over 800 metres that stood for 43 years, having broken the indoor one recently. Jenny confirmed that Keely's big events this year will be the World Indoor Championships in Poland, the Outdoor European Championships in Birmingham, and the new Ultimate World Championships in Budapest. So that means potentially no Commonwealth Games for her, but a deep yearning to be a sporting legend. Well, she's on her way. We've been here every day with Milano Daily, and we will be back for the Winter Paralympics to come. And when it's not games time, well, we'll be here as well every week with an Olympic and Paralympics podcast. News, views, interviews. Don't forget our spin-off podcast, Great British Bosses, the behind-the-scenes conversations of sport in the UK. Lining up a new series of that coming your way soon as well. You can always check out our socials, our website, and our Spotify Olympics music playlist. This, as far as the Olympics is concerned, for the last time, is Milano Daily from Anything But Footy, but we'll be back for the Paralympics.
Hi, I'm Adele Nicol, and you're listening to Anything But Footy with the latest on the Winter Olympics.